Eccoci qua, ce l'abbiamo fatta, con un po' di difficoltà. Buongiorno a tutti.
I had some problems with my presentation, however, I will start. My name is Fabrizio Valencic. I am a president of the social cooperative called Arcobaleno. I have 15 minutes for my presentation, and I will make an attempt to very briefly present our cooperative. I believe that many of you are familiar with our social cooperative Arcobaleno, but still I propose that we first look into our history. So, our cooperative movement in Italy started in 1972. So this was the year where when the first social cooperative was established. It was called Arca Basale. It was placed in Trieste, so very near to Ljubljana. So these were the times where, in fact, we have been quite fortunate, because this was the time when civic rights were given greater importance. The so-called ergotherapy started at that time. So people who suffered from mental problems, who had psychiatrical problems, were then integrated. Some jobs were created for them. They were not paid, but they wanted to make a transition from asylum, from madhouses, so that they would be able to do something useful. They were used for cleaning and other services. Then another important milestone, 1980, a couple of years later, our cooperative was one of the first cooperatives in Italy. There you can see a warehouse, and the same warehouse will be presented later. So Arcobaleno, in fact, is a cooperative which was set up in time where there was a spontaneous movement and establishment of different cooperatives throughout Italy. Volunteers joined forces, other people who had difficulties finding a job. So these were the people who were marginalized, who were sidelined. They established a cooperative, and they saw that this might be an opportunity for them to make a living, to survive. So this, in fact, was not social entrepreneurship, but this cooperative was community-oriented. People did things together, and they also manufactured goods in order to survive and make a living. Here you can see a formulation from our statute, which is still in force today. It defines the objective of our cooperative, which is that we fight against marginalization. In 1980, Italy didn't have appropriate legislation to regulate the area. Therefore, the establishment of such a cooperative was a novelty. The procedures were similar to the establishment of companies, which is why the formulation is similar, as it is the case when you define the mission and objective of traditional companies. Here you can see that these people from our cooperative are really friends. They live together. They have informal and formal contacts, and they try to earn something. So this indeed was a very spontaneous form of cooperation. And then we had to wait until 1991. You also have a Slovenian presentation, but I apologize for showing you the Italian version. We haven't been able to find the Slovene version. Anyhow, finally, in 1991, the law was approved, which in fact identifies the needs of social cooperatives, because there were quite a lot of cooperatives at that time. It defines social cooperatives as those entities which pursue a common interest of the community. They promote people and social integration of citizens. Of course, a social cooperative differs from a company. Why? Because it considers general interests of the community, although it still has to elaborate financial reports, as is the case with other companies. And then further on, this definition also speaks about the promotion of people, as I have said, and social integration is mentioned as well. By performing social, health, and education services, and it performs different agricultural, industrial, and commercial activities and offers jobs to vulnerable entities. So in this way, the cooperatives were recognized as partners for the state. So we can see the point B, where we speak about different services which, as I have said, are established with the view to give a job to special needs people. Here I will make an attempt to refer to two other important articles within this new act. Later, I will ask the organizer to send you the Slovene version of the text, and I hope that everybody will receive it. So this Article 4 defines the concept of vulnerable people. Here we can find the following categories: people who were treated in the asylum, in the madhouse, then those who abuse drugs, the young people who are delinquents, who live in problematic families, and who also served prison sentences. So our cooperative was set up to establish jobs for such categories of people. Different documents were elaborated by us, and legislation was later amended. Then Article 5 speaks about different agreements and contracts which can be signed by such cooperatives and institutions. The state strives to give support to such cooperatives by offering public tenders, and in this way it gives small jobs or mini jobs to cooperatives in order to find employment for vulnerable entities. Unfortunately, in the past year, this mechanism has been somewhat suspended in Italy because of European documents, because of EU documents, because they make it very hard for our cooperative to flourish, and they do not offer support to such cooperatives. What is the state of play today when it comes to social cooperatives? We have more than 9,000 social cooperatives and consortia in Italy. We employ more than 330,000 people, and about 50% of those are handicapped. We have 5 million people who are given assistance by our cooperatives of the type A. In this way, we have a turnover of 9 billion euro. As for our cooperative Arcobaleno, we are active in predominantly 2 sectors. So we have specialized. In the past, this was not the case. Today, we are active in providing cleaning services for health facilities and social facilities. We primarily employ females, and then environmental hygiene or environmental services, which are offered municipal services. In Gorizia and Monfalcone, we have our employees, and we also provide some other services, especially in small centers and small towns. Today, we have 50 associates, about 40% of those are handicapped. In the past years, on average, we had a turnover of 2 million euro. Our total equity amounts to 400,000 euro. Here you can see our facilities. So the warehouse, which was visible at our first slide, should be transformed into something like this. This is, of course, only a design. Today, this is not yet the case. But the cooperative already has a building plot. And we also have photovoltaic cells. 14 kilowatt hours is the capacity of these cells. This year, we also purchased 2 hybrid electric vehicles, one of them being a scooter. And we also have our own electrical car. So we are trying very hard. We try to protect the environment, reduce CO2 emissions, and also reduce costs. Place at the Slovene-Italian border, so between Gorizia on the Italian side and New Gorizia on the Slovene side. The aim of this project is to introduce changes for a better tomorrow of the entire community. We want to introduce different solutions for different stakeholders in our community, and we want to create new jobs, because there are not enough jobs currently in the traditional sector. You know very well that many people are being made redundant, which is why we want to develop a project which was called Magazine. This project is dedicated to the 3D economy. We had a presentation of this project at the meeting of our Slovene-Italian partnership. This is an extremely innovative idea. What are our plans? The program makes an attempt to make use of social cooperatives such as Arcobaleno, and we want to cater to the needs of our clients, of our customers, of our members. We want to have products which are safe and which are affordable. In a nutshell, we are trying to fill certain loopholes because local communities have very specific local needs. Now, small and medium producers are contacted, and we try to enter into an agreement with them because they have problems selling and offering their products. So we try to link different actors, different stakeholders, different citizens, different producers. How is this done? We try to connect them via the World Wide Web. So we have established a technological platform, and what is more, all logistic and distribution channels and outlets are linked. In this way, we manage the entire supply chain of goods and services. So first, we will collect all products, and then we will deliver all the goods, and we will use our electric car for that. And perhaps we will put into force the idea of smart cities, smart metering, and smart transport networks. As for tomorrow, so the title of this magazine, you probably know that we will have the third traditional days of social economy to be held at your Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Ljubljana. There we will have a very wide-ranging debate on social entrepreneurship. We'll also speak about how it is possible to cooperate, how it is possible to connect Ljubljana, Gorizia, Ravenna. These are our partner towns. So in this way, we will be able to address different concepts. We will speak about different forms of cooperation. And we will also speak about the relevance and importance which can be attributed to social entrepreneurship, so how these companies can be innovative. We hear a lot about these concepts, but often this system is subject to abuse. And now we will try to direct this debate into the right direction. We will try to set up rules. We will come up with definitions so that everything will be newly defined. In our opinion, in this way, we will make an attempt to strike a balance between social equality, and I hope that in this way we will create a fairer society. Thank you very much.